Damien Roberts, student number 210359, Performing Arts Level 2, Project 4, Hotwood Hall Fringe. This was my favourite performance of the year because I got the chance to work with people I worked with from the start, especially Rebecca Rowe, because me and Rebecca Rowe have always ended up working with each other and work well together, doing all kinds of things. But this time I pushed it to the limit, but I'll talk about that in a minute. In my other people in my group were Dio, I'm not sure of his surname, and you had Sam Simply yet again. Our entire performance was based on schizophrenia, which is obviously a mental disorder. In preparation for the performance, we did loads of research into actual case studies, what it's like having schizophrenia, how people deal with it, and all that lot. It wasn't really that stressful. There's a few moments that were stressful, including one member of the group which was quite frustrating to me, given what had happened in the last performance, but I'll get to that in a minute. Our performance was very episodical. Each member of the cast had their own monologue. There was a massive dance piece with Rebecca Rowe, which is something she hadn't done before because it incorporated a few lifts into it, which pushed her to a new limit. It's something that she'd never done before, but it pushed her to a new level, and she did very, very well. I did lifts there that I've not done on stage before, performed on stage, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed working with Rebecca again. Say it would have been the last time that we performed together. I seriously enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Sam Simply, as you know from my Project Fringe Reflection, I had a lot of problems with him being a letdown merchant. And it was basically the repetition of Project 3 again on Project 4, but this time there wasn't as many people in the group, and we had his best friend in the group, which was a bit problematic because I again took the role of assistant. I again took the role of director, and Rebecca my assistant director. So if I wouldn't have been in, she would have took the lead and ran the show. But we were both me and Rebecca were very, very close and always conversating about things. We could sit there for hours on end on the phone talking about what we can do to make this performance better, listening to feedback that we'd been given and applying it as efficiently as I could. That's always been one of my weak points, applying feedback effectively and quickly. I've always struggled with that since Project 1, which was Murder in the Old Library. I've always struggled with it. But I feel like this time the feedback was getting applied a lot quicker, like bang, bang, bang. Like I tried to make the performance as good as we could. As I say, Sam Simply was a massive letdown merchant. I asked him to make sure if he wasn't going to be in, to inform me. He had my phone number, dropped me a text just to let me know. I wasn't asking for a long heart to heart. I just wanted to know if he wasn't going to be in, and he did it once. And by the time this once had come up, it was literally a week before the show, so it was very, very problematic. But because it was episodical, we were kind of able to work around it and do the other bits. But it was still a very, very hard task to do because it's easier for me to work with an entire group than having people missing. Rebecca was basically my right hand man. She was brilliant. I can't commend Rebecca enough for the amount of hard work she put into that performance and helping me as director. When I eventually got to the point where I was getting annoying and stressful, I had to approach my group. Rebecca was very mutual about the situation. This is about Sam Simply being a letdown and his future in the group. I'd spoken to Rebecca. She was very, very mutual. She didn't want him to be kicked out, but she understood why I was staying it. But Adil was not happy because he's very, very close to Sam, and I completely understand that. I was only trying to do the best I possibly could because it was literally getting on to show week when I had to try and make this decision. And in the end, he stayed on the group, but it was it was very, very hard because in the afternoon performances, in the afternoon performance when Final Dress Run, we had a deal and not Sam, and in the evening we had Sam, not a deal, which basically meant mine and Rebecca's job was a hell of a lot harder because we had to adapt basically everything, the movement piece, the order of monologue, the order of scenes, where people would be in certain scenes. We did work on it, we did manage to figure it out to a certain degree where it would work though. But for example, the movement piece, it originally starts off with me and Rebecca doing our dance, a very light and upbeat dance to Baila Moss by Enrique Iglesias. And it fades out into Voices by Randy Orton, which is a much darker song, but it really defines the meaning of schizophrenia, I personally think. Because schizophrenia is obviously about people struggling with voices in their heads and other symptoms, but we're mainly focusing on the voices and voices telling people what to do. It was a very fun performance, I enjoyed it. We did have to completely modify the movement piece because as I say, it starts off with a nice upbeat routine and then it fades into me and the lads doing a 3-piece male, whatever you call it, a 3-person dance piece, a group dance piece. But because of obviously Sam and Deal's absences in both respective cases, me and Rebecca had to modify the piece completely. Where on the night when it was when Sam performed, Sam did the movement piece with me on my own and a Deal in the afternoon. But a Deal in the afternoon, it completely messed it up, and it was really bad because it was mine and Rebecca's last opportunity to perform the entire piece as one. It was a lot of hard work because we could not fully run the piece because we were missing a member of the crew because he wasn't paying attention. It was quite frustrating to me. But we got through it. The performance went well from my perspective. I thought it was one of the best performances I've done yet, and I was very privileged that I had the chance to work with Rebecca again because she's a great actress and dancer, and she did me so proud because there was lifts in there that I've never been able to do with other people, but Rebecca has just coped with it so well. Considering the fact that before the project, she'd never done lifts. For her to be doing some of the lifts that she did on that performance, she made me proud. I could not be any prouder of her. Thank you.